Alright everyone, today we're going to do advanced year 11 course, but doing some HSC past paper questions for your preliminary course so that you'll be ready for HSC course. I have a couple of students with me today and they're gonna do these questions, and we will actually, they have questions, we're gonna solve the questions together. So guys, I want you to do these questions. Even you don't really remember what to do, think carefully. Okay, so absolute value is like square root. So you have to have, this is everything inside the square root. It's going to have to be positive, correct? Yeah. So absolute value, it has to be positive. So we don't know whether this is going to be positive or negative, correct? So what I'm going to do, this way, we are covering for both cases, correct? It could be positive, could be negative. So what you're going to do is, like, we are almost squaring it, okay? When we want to square something, you will get two solutions. Is that right? One will be 5, one will be negative, okay? So think of it as it's got power of 2 squared. So one will be giving you the positive answer, one will be giving you a negative answer, but we will get two solutions, two roots, two zeros, okay? They are all the same. Now, what do we do here? This will be, what is it? First step equation. So x will be 4. And then, what's this one? X will be, moving to -1, it will be -6. But you have to check, when we put this into here, whether we will get 5. So we got the possible solutions, but it doesn't mean they're solution for this. So we have to check. So if I put that in there, will I get 5? 4 plus 1 is 5, correct. -6 plus 1 is -5. But absolute value, this gives it, so it's going to be
+5.
Yeah, so they're both okay. Next one is 2008 HSC question 1. Question 1. Okay, so another one. Solve 4x minus 3 equals 7. All right, have a go. These are 2 marks. Have a go at that and see what you're going to get. So we are expecting 2 solutions here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so you probably had a go at, that will be your first solution, and 2 cases. 4x minus 3 equals 7. 4x minus 3 equals -7. And then we'll just, this is 2-step equations, isn't it? So what's that? 4x equals 10. 4x equals -4. -1. You put it in and you will get 7, right? And when you put -1 in there, you'll get 7. That's your answer. So that's 2 marks. It was originally 2 marks. Alright, next question. 2006 HSC question 1. Now this one says sketch the graph, absolute value, so of y equals x plus 4. Alright, absolute value graph is a V shape. Why? Because everything has to be positive, isn't it? So, before we do this, let's have a look. I put that in there for a reason. Because whatever the x value, x can be anything, isn't it? We can put any x value. So, say domain, any value, we can put it in. Now, do you know what that means? Negative infinity, positive infinity. Okay, so it's all x values. But the range, where is the y values, is always going to be 0 above. Okay, so that means 0 is included, but infinity we don't know, so it's going forever, so it's not included. So brackets, round one is not included, square one is included. Okay, so whatever we put x value, y is always going to be 0 or above. Does that make sense? So when we do that, first thing you got to do is you sketch y equals x plus 4. This is a straight line. It's a linear function. So how do we, what's the first thing you have to do when you graph something? Yep, x-intercept and y-intercept. So let's have a look. X-intercept. What's x-intercept? When y equals 0. And y-intercept means x equals 0. Okay? So let's put y equals 0. You will get x equals minus 4. When put x equals 0, you get y equals 4. Okay? So now I can sketch something here. So that's like a coordinates will be minus 4, 0, 0, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, and then negative 4. So I've got the x-intercept and y-intercept. Okay? And then I will sketch it straight line going through like this. Okay? That's just y equals x plus 4. Right? So after this, you need to think about this, guys. What happens? Y is never going to be negative. Yeah. So we only count this up here. We don't count down here because they're all negative y's, isn't it? That's positive. And it doesn't really matter which x values. It can be positive x values, negative x values. So this is okay above here, but nothing should be down here. So there'll be broken lines here. So what happens then, this negative part of it bounces back up, becomes like this. And I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so how are we going so far? That's what it looks like. Y equals. Now after you've done this, make sure you name it. Okay, we all have name. So y equals x plus 4. Okay, so you've got, so the point here is what, 0, 4, minus 4, 0. So you'll indicate your points and then you name the graph. So find the x-intercept, y-intercept. You could do that. And then find domain and range and then sketch. Okay? Or you can find the domain and range first and then find the x-intercept, y-intercept first, the second. Doesn't really matter. So, but this is like a cooking, all right? It's a prep. You're chopping and all that, ingredients, and then finally you're putting the cooking part. So what I'm going to do, this one is 2005 HSC question 1 again, part E or something, and it's a 2 marks. So we are finding our x values of this inequality. So absolute value of x minus 3 is less than or equal to 1. So what do we do here? It's the same. We can treat it like same as a equation. So we could do, or that's common mistake. If you copy that, that's not right. It should be, because that's absolute value, so this should be like this. That we're changing into square root, and we don't know is it plus or minus. So here, okay, so what happens here? It's normal, so plus 3, 4, right? And then what's this one? Now I'm going to change this one. Now did you see what I've done here? That disappears, went to here, but then sign changed. Okay, remember that? So now what I've got is plus 3, so it'll be 2. And then what happens now, it's got 2, 4. Now x is what? Less than 4. Is that right? X is less than 4. So what does that mean? It'll be 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way.
Yeah.
And x is bigger than 2. So it'll be 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? So this one included, because it's less than equal to, it's going to bigger than, goes to here. Is that right? And this one goes to here. So what is the common part? It's in the middle, isn't it? Yeah? So your answer should be all the x values in between 2 to 4. I'm going to show you the shortcut. Anything less than something, it's in between. Okay? It means almost like, if you think about it, if it's at less than 1, it's almost like this. Can I just say? It's in like this, in between 1 and minus 1. So this is a longer way of doing it. This is a shorter way of doing this. When you see something's less than equal to, automatically you have to think it's in between plus 1, minus 1, or depends on the constant here. Okay? So that means here, and therefore, if I want to make it to x something, so what's my answer here? What's minus 1 plus 3? 2. What's that? 4. What's in the middle? X. You can go straight into this. You don't have to do this. But if it was a bigger than 1, of course you've got to do this way, because it's in the other side, not in the middle. Okay? When it's a less than something, it's in just like compact in the middle. So you can do it straight away like this. So therefore, you do 2, 4. Exactly the same. Understood?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Let's see if I could give you another question on this one. Okay. Let's say I'm going to change this one. 4, and I'm going to change to 3. Have a go. Think about, do the short way. So it'll be, I'll go straight away this way. Don't do 2 cases. That's okay, Nami. Just do straight away. Yeah. It's easier. So learn to recognize this. That means in between. Okay? It's in the do between. Okay, so it's in between. So it's minus 3 and 3. So now what do we have to do? We have to get rid of minus 4, so by plus 4. When I say get rid of it, make it 0. And then I will go 1. That's what I have. Question just exactly same, but I'm going to go, what if it was bigger than equal to 1? What happens then? Okay, then it's 2 cases. Okay, so it'll be like that. So what happens here? X is bigger than or equal to 4. Yes?
Yeah.
Because plus 3, and I'm always move this one to the other, and then change the sign.
Okay.
Deal with the negative first.
Yeah.
And then I'll do plus 3. What happens? 2, isn't it? If I do plus 3 here. So what does that mean in a number line here? It's 0, it's 4 here. X is bigger than 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's going to here. Or the bigger than 4, yeah? And 2 is here. And X is less than 2, isn't it? So it's going to be like here. They don't really have a common part, isn't it? Because the one's going this way, one's going that way. So your answer should be X is bigger than 4, or that's your answer. So when you have a bigger than this side, on your left hand side, you have to have 2 cases that separates. Whereas a less than 1, it's in between. Think of something like a circle. Say the radius is 1 and minus 1, right? But if it's a less than 1, that means it's a less than the radius. So it's inside the circle, in between 1 here. All the X is in between here. But if it was a bigger than 1, that means it's all out here, isn't it? Yeah? So it's a similar concept. Okay? But you have to work it out the X values. Next question. Alright, this one is not solving, simplify. Okay? It's a simplify. Okay, so this question, let's see. Alright, have a go at this one. There's 2 cases for this. Okay? One will be positive, one is negative. Okay? This one we can't touch, but this one will change. So this one, we will go 2x plus 5 is positive or negative. So I'm just going to go 0, and then I will go and then 2x plus 5 is bigger than equal to 0. Okay? So there is 2 cases, isn't it? One is a positive, one is a negative. Right? So there's 2 cases. So in that case, so you've got 2 cases here. Okay? So we're going to solve it by these 2 cases. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this, and then I'm just going to keep this as when x is less than equal to minus 5 over 2, and then I will do the other one, x is bigger than minus 5 over 2. Okay, so that's 2 cases, because we don't know what x might be. X could be positive number, x could be negative number, right? It depends on this. So let's have a look. So when it's, what was it, this one? Was it bigger than, was this one bigger than 0, equal to 0? So that was a positive, wasn't it? No, it's not. This was positive.
Aren't they both?
This one was a negative. This was a positive.
Okay.
So what I've done here is this. 5 is less than equal to 0. Yeah? So then, and we will get, that's what we got. Wasn't it? So that was a negative. I should have done positive first, but doesn't really matter. So this one is positive. So then I've got minus 5 over 2. Oops, 2 there. Okay, so that's what I got. So here, when x is a positive, here when x is negative. Does that make sense? So let's do it. So this will give us, what is it? 3x plus 7 minus, it'll be just negative, so it'll be negative, negative. So it's going to be positive. So what's going to be? 5x plus 12. Is that right? Are you guys okay with me on that? And then this one, it's positive, so I'm not changing anything. It'll be the same. Or 2. Did I do something wrong? Yes.
Yeah, you didn't put the thing, right?
I didn't make it positive, so it was positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that right? Yeah. So now how are we going to write this as answer? We will go x plus 2 when, and this was 5x plus 12 when x is, and does that make sense? So I just put the positive first. So when x is bigger than or equal to minus 5 over 2, you will get x plus 2. Okay? So any x value is bigger than equal to minus 5 over 2, you will get x plus 2. When x is less than or equal to minus 5 over 2, you'll get 5x plus 12. So you get 2 expressions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay? Yeah. So that's what it is. Alright,
So is that how you answer it?
yeah, this is how you answer it.
So with the semicolon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got two cases. When x is bigger than or equal to minus 5 over 2, your expression will be this. But if x is less than or equal to minus 5 over 2, your expression will be this. So it depends on this inside the brackets. I mean, absolute value is positive or negative. Now, one thing you have to remember when coming to something like this, whether it's positive or negative, is that what you do first? There's a very, very important rule here. Something goes like, you cannot divide it by.
Oh, right.
You can't divide it by 0. So, no.
Okay.
When it's a fraction. So your answer, you'll get 2 expressions, correct? But do not include equal to.
Yeah.
Yep. So here, it'll be and then you get the so what will be the alright, let's factorize the top.
Okay.
So that would be x 1 2. Oh, that's easy because that's just positive here, negative. So when you add it together, you get negative 3. When you times it, you get positive 2. So that's just a factors we wanted to. So I've got here, when this case, I get x minus 1, x minus 2. Because it's bigger than 0, I'll just go like that. Normal, right? And then I'll cancel this. I got that, x minus 1. But here, x minus 2, but I'm going to put negative, right, because it's less than. I will get negative x minus 1, which is negative x plus 1. Isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
So what do I do? Therefore, what's my answer? I will get x minus 1 when x is bigger than 2. Right? And then I will get minus x plus 1 when x is less than 2. That's your answer. Okay? Are we all good? Any questions so far? Nope.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to give you some more of the inequality involving absolute value questions. Okay? So that was just expressions. But if you had inequality less than or equal to or something like that, you need to find the values. But like equation, you will get x values as a like 1 or 2 or 3 numbers, right? It's equations. But inequalities, it's a set of x values. Okay, like x is bigger than 2. So it'll be like 3, 4, 5, 6, forever it goes. But we don't know which x it is. So you'll get the set of x values. That's the inequalities, difference between equations and inequalities. Inequality, you get the set of x values. Equations, you will get the actual x values. Okay? So, I want you to have a go at these questions. 5x plus 6. Yeah. Okay. So that's a bigger than equal to 4. So you can't use the shortcut that I was talking about, isn't it? It has to be less than. And that was just say first one. Next one. Next one is Jack's barking. Okay, here we go. So I've got 1 is less than 4. So this one you can do shortcut. That one you can do shortcut. But the top one you can't. Oh, sorry, that's 11. Sorry, just what? Okay, that's better. Okay, so have a go at that. And maybe you can pause it and then do it again. So let's have a look at this. We'll turn it off.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
So I'll just go. Is that on or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So first one, we will go 2 cases. I will just go like that, but make one side negative. Okay?
Yeah.
And then this, we need to sort it out before we do it. So just be careful on this side. So I moved this one to the other and I changed the sign. Okay? And then this one is not a problem because it's a positive. So I'll go 5x minus 6 minus 6 minus 2. So that's not a problem. Or minus 6 minus 6 minus 10 minus 2. So that's my final answer. So they are, if you have to draw on the number line, so that's not good. I'll go. So that's what 2 over 5. So minus 2 over 5 here and minus 2 here. So what happens here is x is bigger than minus 2 over 5, isn't it? So it's going away from you because that's what this bigger means, getting close to 0. And it's a less than minus 2. So there's no common parts, isn't it? It's a parting away opposite direction. So you will write it x is bigger than or equal to minus 2 over 5, or x is less than or equal to minus 2. So that's your final answer. And question sometimes will say show it on the number line, and that's what it is, directed line. Okay, and this one we can do, it's a less than, so it's in between 4 and minus 4. So I'll go plus 11 plus 11. Oops, 15, 7, and then halve it. So it'll be, so we know that's going to be 7.5, and that will going to be 3.5. So we know that's going to be the same. So therefore, always have habit of writing underline with a different color your final answer. So therefore, okay, are we okay with that? Yep. So next one. Okay, so I'm not sure you're ready for it, but I think you have to now, so you're pretty good. So what I'm going to give you is again the oh, that's not too bad, I don't think. 2 plus 3 is less than equal to 6. So you can use a shortcut on this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this one will be between 6 and minus 6. All reason, like this is a less than 6, so it's in the between, right? It's in between, so it's going to be like this, in between 6 and minus 6, okay? Only for it's a less than, because it's compact, okay? But if it's a bigger than, it's going to be away from it, okay? So now here, do not put absolute value here, because the whole reason we're putting into the range here, 6 to minus 6, is to get rid of the absolute value sign. And then what we do, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So it's going to be 9 here.
It would be negative 3.
Oh, sorry. Excellent, Samantha. Very good, very good, very good. That's what I was thinking. Why is it not working? So it's going to be 3 minus 9 x over 2. And then we times by 2, correct? So it's going to minus 18, 6. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next one. Next one. It's going to be similar, but I'm going to give you something different. This time is bigger. So it's going to be two cases, something or something, correct? You can't do a shortcut one. Right, have a go at this. So this one will be a little bit different. So you guys do the question I'll do here, and we can compare.
Do you want me to pause it on?
Yeah. So I've just done the solution here. Only thing you have to be very, very careful about is when it comes to from here to here. When you divide it to make it x by itself, you're dividing by minus 3 on both sides. When you divide by minus, negative number, the sign, integration sign changes. Okay? Same thing happens here. Now, when you sketch this on the number line, if you're not really 100% sure how to sketch it, just have imaginary x values writing it here down. Okay? Especially with the fractions, you'll be confused which way it's going. So when you put it that in there, it's easier where the arrow is going to go. But this is giveaway. This is a bigger than, right? So that means it's going to be part away, and the answer should be something or something. But if it's a less than 3, then it's in between. Make sense? All right, one more. So this one is one of those shortcut for us. So I can do negative here, positive here. So I'm going to go 3x minus 2 over 2 minus 4. It's in between 4 and minus 4. So times by 2, 3x. Did I do something wrong? Yes, I plus 2 minus 6, 10. And divided by 3, 2. Is that right? Now, when you do this, all you've got to do is minus 2 here and 10 over 3. And because it's equal to, so it's going to be closed dot circle there. And it's in between. It's in between this. The maximum number you can go is 10 over 3. Minimum number you can go is negative 2. So it has to be all the x's values in between these are the x values we're looking for. Okay? That's all. Are we okay with that? So if you want, you can shade it in. So that means just include it there. Okay? Excellent. Well done. Finished.